Welcome to another project here on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and today we're visiting the Northwinds apartments in Manitowoc, Wisconsin to learn about affordable housing preservation. So let's get started with Carol Keene from Cardinal Capital Management. Well, Carol, I think spring is in our near future, which is great after this winter. And you know, 2 months ago we visited this apartment complex and it was going through some major renovations. It's looking great now.
Thanks. Yeah, we're about 2 months away from completion and most of the inside work is all done. And so now we're just finishing up on the exteriors.
Sure, and this is really more than just your ordinary apartment complex. This is all about affordable housing preservation.
Right. Northwinds Apartments provides affordable housing. We have 2 and 3 bedroom apartments that are affordable for families in the Manitowoc community. The residents pay 30% of their income towards the rent and the rest is federally subsidized. It's money that flows from the federal government to the state and eventually to the owner of the project, which I represent. We provide the housing, and then we also have community space where we have partnered with local nonprofits to provide services to the residents and their children. Some of these services include financial workshops, budget workshops, encouraging to finish GEDs if they don't have a high school diploma, any kind of social services or even preparation for the job market or support in continuing their education.
It seems to me to be a very valuable asset to a community, and we're here in Manitowoc, like you mentioned, but there are these communities throughout different villages and towns and cities in our state, right?
Yes, Wisconsin Housing Preservation Corp has properties throughout the state. In almost every community throughout the state, there are properties that are similar to Northwinds that serve seniors, families, and people with disabilities by offering not only the housing, but most communities also have a community center that offers amenities and supportive services that are brought in from the community.
When you look at affordable housing preservation like we're looking at on today's show, why do you feel it's so important for the state to embrace this?
The whole Section 8 program started in the late 70s and finished in the early 80s. So there hasn't been any new communities like this built since 1983. So it's very important that we continue to operate it well, that we renovate it like we have, and maintain it in perpetuity, because the numbers of people who need the housing are not dwindling. They're increasing. There are more people in poverty. There are more people in need, especially in the more rural communities who don't have as stable of job market as maybe some of the urban areas of the state.
You know, when you think of home ownership in America, that's what it's all about. You strive to own a home. Right. And a home doesn't have to be a house. Right. It can be an apartment. Right. It's just someplace safe, a safe haven, so to speak.
Right. In many of our communities, we have second and third generations, or sometimes it's just a place where people stay for a couple years, they get back on their feet, they use some of the services on site, and they are able to move along and become homeowners.
Sure. And a project like this, how is it funded? Because there's some major remodeling going on.
Right. Well, this project received an allocation of low-income housing tax credits last year, and we were able to work with a national investor to sell the credits and do a substantial amount of rehab amounting to a couple $1 million. We basically redid the interior of the units and the exterior, as you can see.
Sure, some of the new lights here, the doors, as I mentioned, I mean, it really spruced it up. But it's important not only initially, but the ongoing maintenance and everything as well, isn't it?
Right. This is a preservation project and you refinance it and you get the tax credits. It's a 15-year commitment to maintain it as low income, and then a lot of times we extend the commitment well beyond the 15 years.
Okay, good. So it's going to be here for a good long time.
For a very long time.
You know, sooner or later, all of us are going to know somebody in a situation like this that they can really use some help, and this is a great way to do that. And it's not just a big city issue, is it?
No, it's not. In pretty much every community throughout the state, from from Ashland to Superior to Sturgeon Bay to Madison to Milwaukee to Manitowoc.
And all the small towns in between.
Right, and on almost every community where we have a property, there's a very long waiting list to get in.
Well, I know that as I look around, I recognize the new lights, the new doors, the new siding, roof, all the exterior remodeling that's going on. I want to catch up with your project manager, Mark Klon, to learn more about what's going on in the inside, and I'll see you a little later in the show.
Okay, sounds great, Stu.
We are a better state when we have affordable housing, and beyond the fact that we're reaching out to others and incorporating everybody, that we are taking the attitude that we're all in the boat together and we're not throwing anybody out of the boat, that's certainly an excellent thing. But I think it's also, it's so easy for us to forget how many of the people that might need affordable housing are our friends, our relatives, our cousin, a child, our parents, and we all go on this journey, right, where we're at different economic spots over our lifetime. So probably all of us have a period of time when we're doing well and we don't need affordable housing, but probably all of us have had a period of time when we aren't doing well and we need it. And there's something about accepting that we could be in that role too, and that our family could be in that role, and I think it makes it all better and makes us all think about working as a community.
There is no better feeling than having a place you can call home. And at Cardinal Capital Management, we believe everyone should know how that feels. We believe when a home is safe and supportive, it helps form the foundation of our communities. At Cardinal Capital Management, we protect and preserve affordable housing for low and moderate income households and provide a place for many to call home. We provide supportive housing throughout Wisconsin, Iowa, and Arizona. And over the past few years, our preservation projects have been recognized for innovation, design, and beautification. Our award-winning properties include the United House, Veterans Manor, Highland Commons, Empowerment Village Lincoln, Empowerment Village National, and Water Tower View Apartments, just to name a few. But more important than any awards are the smiles we see every day when our residents have a place to call home. Cardinal Capital Management, delivering financial and social value.
Welcome back to our project here on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and today we're in Manitowoc following along the remodeling of the Northwinds apartments. Now let's continue with project manager Mark Klon. Yeah, so I can see in here, those cabinets do look about 30, 40 years old, kind of outdated.
They are. That's the reason why they're being replaced here, Stu.
Sure, now you mentioned that it begins with an assessment of the property itself before you actually get into these major renovations.
Correct. All the assessments are done by actually looking at all the materials in the building, inside, outside, the grounds, everything. And the way it's to determine on what you replace is by the age and the condition of that particular material that's here. So let's take the cabinets. These cabinets are original. The building was built in 1980. So those cabinets are past their expected useful life. So they are in need of replacement.
And you're looking to the future as well, because these have to last for a number of years before you're going to get these tax credits we're talking about to do any major renovations again.
Correct. They have to last 15 years. So that's how long the credit lasts and how long we're selling it. They're selling their credits for. So in this case, $4,000 or $5,000 on a unit to replace cabinets, they could not afford to do that. So we do it within the credit. They possibly could afford to replace some doors, could have replaced some flooring, but we're doing that as much as we can to credit too. So there's certain things that the property can afford to do it all at one time is what we look to do in the credit that's going to last an additional 15 years for them.
But in this 40-unit apartment complex, every unit is going to have some sort of upgrade done to it, correct?
Every unit, we go through all of them. Every one are done. Every unit is inspected. Every unit needs some work done to it. Every unit will get some work done.
And what specifically, along with the cabinets in each of them, are going to get done?
Along with the cabinets, too, in the kitchen, they're going to end up getting all new fixtures, all new plumbing in there. They're going to get all new appliances. All Energy Star appliances will be replaced in there. And here we're also going to replace the doors, the closet doors, the room doors, the building entry doors. The flooring will be replaced. And then we're going to have the bathroom. We're going to do a lot of work in the bathroom, too. There'll be painting. There'll be drywall repairs. There'll be new light fixtures put in, new fire alarm systems put in throughout the building. So that'll all be done inside a unit. We're trying to make the building and the units safer and more secure for the tenants.
Yeah, safer, secure, and more energy efficient, which makes it more economical to operate. In other words, to live in. It's going to be good for everybody, not only the occupants here, but the community as a whole.
That's true. They're also going to get the water heaters and a furnace in to bring up. Now, a lot of the furnaces have been replaced, but not all of them have. So we will replace some furnaces. We also will replace 36 out of the 40 water heaters will be replaced with a more energy efficient water heater. As we discussed before, this property is also a green property. So we are at a silver green on here. So that means you have higher efficiencies and you have greener products that we're putting in here too. That's also part of the tax credit.
Okay, well, a lot of these improvements seem to revolve around the plumbing. So I can see the bathroom behind you. Let's go over there and see what that's going to entail.
This is a typical bathroom, Stu. This is a 2-bedroom typical bathroom that we have. And of course, most of the units are 2 bedrooms.
Okay, and so what are you going to specifically be removing and upgrading?
In this particular bathroom, this is one of 6 that we're actually going to do universal design in. So I'll go through some of the things. We are going to rehab all the bathrooms. All the bathrooms will be getting new toilets, new floors, a vanity instead of a wall-hung sink, new accessories. So they'll be getting new medicine cabinets. They'll be getting new lighting in here and a new exhaust fan. And of course the new door. Going back to the universal design bathrooms, which this is one of 6 that we're going to do, is we're going to end up blowing out this bathroom an additional 10 inches wider to make better clearance for somebody to come in and out of this bathroom.
So 10 inches that way or this way?
10 inches into their bedroom.
Oh, wow. Well, 10 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but that's got to be a massive undertaking.
It is. So because of the header and the plumbing problems in here, the plumbings are running through this wall. So here you're going to have the plumbing coming through the wall, which a part of this universal design is making a 36-inch door. The door has to be widened. For us to make the door widen, the plumbing is in the way. The plumbing has to be reverted to a different area. It has to be moved. We also have to reheader everything because since we're going into the bedroom, we have to put new headers in because we're losing that structure for the unit above it.
Oh my gosh. So when I say a massive undertaking, it really is. And you have to do it all under a certain number of day timeline.
3 days. We're given 3 days to do it.
Okay. Well, do you have one under construction? We can go look at what you're dealing with?
We do. It would be perfect for you to see it right now.
Oh, Mark, this is perfect. We get to see behind the scenes and all these challenges we're talking about. This must be the new door, and it looks a lot wider than the old one.
It is, Stu. We have to be a 36-inch door. It's called a 3.0 door has to fit in here, which will swing out, which will give clearance to the person coming in for universal design. So it's done for the reason for clearances, pretty much. So they have to have the clearance to get in and out of the bathroom with the wheelchair to make your turn radiuses to your toilet, to your shower, and to your sink.
And you know, a lot of us might take going to the bathroom, showering, brushing our teeth for granted, but when you think of affordable housing preservation and someone in that situation, this is what you're dealing with. You're making it so you can keep it affordable, yet the quality of life will remain high, being able to get in there.
Yep, it's terrific that we can do this in affordable housing. I mean, you normally would not be able to afford to do this, but it's great that we can convert units, 6 units that we're going to convert here, for people that are in need of more accessibility in there. So we're able to do it through the credit.
And yep, it all comes down to that funding we're talking about. Now here, I see the older 2x4, so does that mean the original door, which was about 32 inches, was right here?
It was there, Stu. We had to center it. That's the reason we had to shift it over this way. So everything got shifted, as you can see, so it's centered in the bathroom for their turn clearances.
And when I look on the ground, I see some new concrete. That's where the old tub was, and that's when you talked about moving it into the bedroom. There's a lot of demo that went on and a lot of new construction then.
Correct. You can actually see some of the things that happened on the floor here, too. We actually had to dig into the concrete to remove the drain that was there before for the old bathtub, shift everything over. The old plumbing came through this wall, right through this section. So the stack was here for the unit above it, for the drain, and the water supply lines were in this area. So, of course, we had to divert everything over here to bring it up to that unit and run it around all the new headers, including the drain, the supply lines. I had to go through the new header that would be put up on this 36-inch door.
You know what is really amazing to me is the professionals that are working on it, to do it within 3 days. But someone who doesn't get a chance to visit the site under the construction process, to see the challenges here, that you're moving supply lines, you're moving plumbing waste lines, you're putting in new headers, you're putting up new walls. That's a lot, and to ask you to do it in 3 days is really a testament to the professional and the planning that goes into it.
It is. It's really good scheduling, really good contractors. I mean, you're right about the header. The header had to be replaced here. This is where the old wall was, Stu. This was the old wall between the bedroom and the bathroom. This is where the door used to be. So all this got blown out a good 18 inches into the bedroom. So it really made a big change on this whole unit, but now they have a nice, roomy, accessible bathroom to get into. All right, Stu, now this is what a Universal Design Unit finished bathroom looks like.
Oh, this is awesome. It feels quite a bit bigger to me. It's neat to see the transformation when you talk about moving it 10 or 18 inches. It really does make a big difference as far as accessibility is concerned.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so when you were looking at the construction, but when you see the finished product, you see that the bathroom is much bigger here. It makes it much nicer for anybody to do a turn radius in here, to get to these items in here, like the shower or the toilet or the sink. They have easier for them to get in and out.
And we touched on the importance of projects like this, but really what it comes down to, at least in my opinion, is the quality of life for the individual.
You're correct. The quality of life is very important to us. We try to make all our tenants have a better quality of life by doing small things, by giving them a shower head that moves up and down, an adjustable shower head, giving them an offset control for their control so they don't have to go in the shower to turn the water off and on. Putting in wider doors for them, adding lever handle locks in all the units. So we do that too, so it's easier for them to get in and out. You can actually control that lock with a closed fist. You don't need a working hand. Your hand, you can still get in and out of a unit or a door with just using your elbow or your fist.
Boy, and you know, it's things that, at least speaking personally, that I take for granted, things that I'm able to do, but if you think about throughout our community, you might not know somebody now that has to deal with these issues, but sooner or later you will. It might affect you, it might affect somebody you know, and it's so important within our communities to have projects like this.
It is. I mean, we try to do all of our projects, Stu, all of our projects, and try to higher the quality of life for all our tenants. It's very important to us. We're going to do it to all the units here, not just the Universal Design units. They're all going to get some upgrades that's going to make their life better and easier for them to get in and out of their unit. So we do that through not just this project, all the projects we've ever worked on before.
Sure. Fair to say, you raise the quality of life for one individual, you're really raising the quality of life of the community.
You're correct.
There is no better feeling than having a place you can call home. And at Cardinal Capital Management, we believe everyone should know how that feels. We believe when a home is safe and supportive, it helps form the foundation of our communities. At Cardinal Capital Management, we protect and preserve affordable housing for low and moderate income households and provide a place for many to call home. We provide supportive housing throughout Wisconsin, Iowa, and Arizona. And over the past few years, our preservation projects have been recognized for innovation, design, and beautification. Our award-winning properties include the United House, Veterans Manor, Highland Commons, Empowerment Village Lincoln, Empowerment Village National, and Water Tower View Apartments, just to name a few. But more important than any awards are the smiles we see every day when our residents have a place to call home. Cardinal Capital Management, delivering financial and social value.
Well, Carol, that was awesome with Mark looking at the interior renovations going on. And I mean, they look great, but more importantly, the residents seemed ecstatic.
Our residents are really pleased. Many of them have lived here for a while, and now they have a completely new place that they're living.
And throughout today's show, we've been talking about the importance of affordable housing preservation in communities like this. But let's step back once again and explain exactly what affordable housing is.
Affordable housing communities are available to low-income seniors, people with disabilities, and families. And basically, when you apply for the housing, they'll tell you there are some income limits that you have to meet in order to be eligible to live in the property. And as long as your household income is under that limit, they'll qualify you, and then your rent is set on 30% of your income. And the rest of it will be subsidized through a federal rental subsidy program.
And these affordable housing communities are located throughout our state.
Right. In fact, we have properties in over 60 of the 72 counties throughout Wisconsin, but there are affordable housing communities in almost every county in the state. They all have waiting lists in order to live there.
Well,
there's a huge demand.
And what I've learned is, there's such a valuable asset to the community when you think of the people in need that can take advantage of housing communities like this. But is it fair to say, by having them in every community of the state, it allows people to stay close to their families?
Absolutely. Many people have deep roots in the community, and it is the availability of the housing and the rental subsidy that allows them to stay in their community.
And what we just walked into here is a mini community center, and community seems to be at the center of what Cardinal Capital is all about in creating affordable housing preservation.
Right. It's our goal that we create housing communities that offer more than just the bricks and mortar, that they really offer some services or activities that offer more for our residents to improve their lives, participate in activities that are joyful. And
much more than just getting a roof over somebody's head.
Right, right. In this community room tomorrow, we'll be holding a pizza party to plan our community garden. That the community garden is a way that residents and their children will be able to be outdoors, to learn about growing things, weeding, maintaining, and then also at the end of the growing season, we hope to have a big party and cook with the goods from the
harvest, hopefully.
From the
That's
garden.
Awesome. So, families at the heart of it, community, educating people. Right. All about the good things in life.
Right. We also partner with local nonprofits and service providers to offer services for our residents. Here in Manitowoc, we partner with Catholic Charities, comes in and provides their budget and financial workshops and helps our residents with financial planning. We also work with Lakeshore Community Action Program that runs programs for kids. They do parenting programs and basic social service and even some GED and career planning.
So again, those are great examples of how you go beyond, as you put it, the bricks and mortar. And finally, you're always smiling whenever I see it. Do you really enjoy what you do?
I love what I do. I've been working in the business my whole career, and I'm very, very proud of what our company has done and what we do.
And everybody in the state should be proud of what you do, because sooner or later, all of us are going to know someone who needs a community like this, can take advantage of the services Cardinal Capital Management offers.
Thank you.
The preceding program was sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.